right, it is 2-camera day at On the DELO podcast studios here. Diddy is just stepping up his game. God, I love my Diddy. If you guys don't know Diddy, you got to get to know Diddy. He's responsible for all these short outtakes, intakes, all this sort of stuff. So we have a fun podcast today. This is something that was brought to me by a friend, and I have now a new friend that I'm actually just going to get to meet for the first time here on air. Justin, right?
Very
Not
nice
Justine. Yeah, he was
Justine. Yep.
Justine. But no, Justin, you are CEO of a company, and why don't you pronounce it for me so I don't mess it up?
Agogi.
Agogi. Okay, very cool. We have some of it here. If you're watching online, you can check it out. So what's the meaning of Agogi?
Agogi, the meaning of it is training, preparing, and discipline. It was used by the Spartans as a term for the schooling that the kids go through to become Spartan warriors.
Oh, that's cool.
And I actually saw it the first time in the movie 300.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Right? Where the kid, he gets old enough and they take him away from mom, and it's like, you got to go to the world is going to have you out there. And so when I saw that, I was like, man, that sure feels like entrepreneurship, right? Is it brutal? And you're going to go through all these rigmaroles.
Yeah.
And so the name Agogi just felt like, it was like, man, we all have our Agogi.
Yeah.
We all have our challenge in life. We're all overcoming. If it's starting a business or losing weight or fighting cancer, whatever it may be, this is our Agogi, is to create a sustainable protein to feed the masses, right? When hemp's grown, it cleans greenhouse gases better than hardwood forest. So the fact of growing the hemp for our food helps clean our environment and feed us in a very sustainable way.
Interesting.
And that's just with 8 billion people in the world. Our Agogi is to feed ourselves and not destroy our planet.
That's cool. Okay, so we're really going to dig into this, but I got to get to know who you are first.
Sure.
So tell me about like where you're from originally and kind of your journey up to this point a little bit.
Sure. Originally from the D.C. area.
Okay.
When I was 17, I joined the Air Force, and so didn't do too well in school. Had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Can't sit still. But enlisted, I basically said, whatever job you have to get me to Europe, give it to me.
Really?
So I'm a C-130 jet engine mechanic.
Oh my God!
So I have applied sciences degree in aerospace propulsion from the Community College of the Air Force. So I'm good at fixing stuff. So
wow.
Yeah.
So you're kind of a nerd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big nerd.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, you've worked on, these are the biggest planes there are, right?
No, not the biggest, but the most, we have the most of them. They're the propeller. So the big cargo with the propeller where they can land on dirt and sand.
Holy crap.
So most of the time, guys jumping out, or, military people jumping out of airplanes are jumping out of the back of a 130.
Okay.
And so spent a lot of time on those, a lot of time, in the Middle East, flying from base to base, fixing planes during the war and stuff like that. So that was what I did from when I was 18 till I was 25.
Holy crap. So just everybody listening, and including me from my own selfish brain, how safe is it to fly?
Very safe.
Yeah.
Very, very, very safe. Yeah.
And being a mechanic on these things, you just is it pretty much when you understand it and you can compartmentalize the different items and what goes on,
Correct.
You know what needs to be fixed and taken care of?
Correct. Yeah, back when I went through boot camp and basic training and technical school, we still use big books.
Okay.
Like big books covered in oil, standing on a flight line, trying to fix it. So now they have iPads and you can download updates and stuff like that. We used to have these books just covered in oil. And, I was in when the old timers were just coming out of Vietnam and retiring.
Oh, geez.
And so they were real sweet and nice to deal with.
Yeah. No. They're like.
So, yeah. So, but it was a lot of fun and understanding complexities of there's 300,000 pieces to one of those engines.
Oh my God.
So it's complex, and then, there's a lot of pressure when you're young, because if you get it wrong or if you have an issue, the plane crashes, you go to prison, and you have to live with the fact that, that plane crashed and those people didn't make it. So they apply that really quick and early, so you learn how to handle pressure at a young age.
So as a kid, what were you like?
Rambunctious. I love mechanical stuff. I love fixing, working on things.
Always doing that. Okay.
Always, cutting deals and trading stuff and trading baseball cards and trading toys. And I wasn't much for one to sit at home and watch TV. I always liked to get out and play football and just be outside. We didn't have cell phones back then. So it's, if you wanted to go hang out with someone, you had to go right over their house, ring the doorbell.
Well, yeah. How old are you?
almost 45 next month.
Okay, I'll be 50 next year. So we're kind of in that same generation, Star Wars and, 80s
This
music.
is the way.
And we had, cassette tapes. Remember those things? Yeah. No, you're absolutely
I had a Walkman. I had an orange Walkman.
Yes.
It was waterproof.
I had the yellow one, waterproof, and it clipped over. And
snapped.
And then you'd have like your tape with all your different songs on it.
Well, I had to rewind that one. I want to hear it again.
Yep. Oh my God, that's great. Okay, so now this gives us a good picture of kind of who you were and growing up as a kid and probably playing in the woods and just maybe listening for the dinner bell. That's what I did. Yep. And you can come back and
be home before dark.
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting to me that you've always had this entrepreneur spirit, right? And then you go into the Air Force. You're working on engines. How long were you in the Air Force for?
97 to 04.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah. Thank you for your service. That goes without saying. That's amazing. And then where were you stationed mainly?
Mainly I was in Ramstein, in Germany.
Yeah.
So I was 19 when I was stationed there. So, basically went to Oktoberfest, snowboarded in the Alps, St. Patrick's Day in Dublin, New Year's in Paris, New Year's in Amsterdam. I mean, the coolest assignment you could probably get is being in the military.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. And they need to keep you out of harm's way because they need somebody fixing them planes.
Pilots are really nice to us.
Yeah.
Pilots are real nice.
Here's some coffee, sir.
Yeah. Pilots are real nice. Yeah. You're the last person to touch the engines that they're working with. They're real nice.
They like you a lot. That's cool. So you get out of the service, you come back to the States, right?
Yep.
And then what's your adventure at this point? In
I actually, when I left Germany, I went to Arkansas for a year. Did a year there at the Little Rock Air Force Base, and then I transferred into the West Virginia Air National Guard because they said if you come here, West Virginia University will give you your GI Bill to live on and we'll waive your tuition.
Wow.
So I went to WVU and did my bachelor's degree in marketing while I was in the National Guard still. And, it was fantastic. I joined the military, went to school in the GI Bill, basically.
That's great.
And just like they talk about on, it works.
It actually works.
It actually works.
Okay.
They actually pay you. Yeah, they actually do it.
That's amazing. So now you're kind of trying to find your way in life, obviously after the military and working on stuff. Are you going off and working on engines elsewhere? Or
I hung up my toolbox.
You did?
Yeah, because once I had my marketing degree and I'd done some stuff with sales and business development, I was like, man, this is a lot of fun.
You got an itch, yeah.
Yeah, I got the itch, and it was like, helping people. There's products to help people, right? And so one of the things I promised myself early on is if I can't explain it to my grandma in 2 or 3 sentences, I won't do it. Okay. And the other thing is does it have a positive effect on people, or else I won't do it. Okay. Right? And so every startup that I've been a part of has a goal of a positive effect on people, on humanity, on people's vision, on civility, and then nutrition. Yeah. So each one there, because if I'm going to put my time, and you understand how much challenging, and you put all your soul and your life and your money into a startup, and I want to be able to, when I go to sleep at night, know it's a good thing. Yeah. Because obviously, some make it and some don't. But ultimately, I can be proud that what I did was good towards humanity. Oh, for sure. And when you say part of like all the startups you've been a part of, like what are some of the other ones? Mm-hmm. One of them is called New Eyes. It's a smart glass company. Basically, what we did was took a pair of military smart glass heads-up display and repurposed them with a special software to help people who are legally blind. Oh my God, that's amazing. So people not totally blind, people, it's called low vision. Yeah. Where a lot of their vision is gone. And, they can actually pick things up. They can zoom in and they can see and stay independent. The V actually covers them. There's good side effects of that is it, really improves people's lives, and their independence. And, we all take our vision for granted until you don't have it. And it's absolutely, you don't realize, how important that is. And so it was very fulfilling to be a part of that, to be able to help improve people's lives. That's really cool. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You can't really see in the dark, right? Mm-mm. Yeah. Yeah. And I assume that's kind of like an engineering feat within itself, right? Taking that technology. We partnered with an engineering firm. Okay. And they had spent a lot of money in R&D, and they were looking for ways to, bring it to market and utilize it. And so we're like, well, we have this huge need with these, people that are legally blind, and they want to. The standard is kind of like these older, large machines that magnify things like the old microfiche. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But that's you can only leave it at the house. You can't use it at the store, the coffee shop, things like that. So making it smaller and portable is where it's at. So it's still in business today. We started in 2015, and so I'm still shareholder in that, and they're going really well. And I kind of turned my journey into other things and moved right along. And so
now your journey, without getting into everything else that you've done, now your journey is it's hemp protein. Mm-hmm. So how did this start, and where were you, and what was like the antithesis to you be like, I'm going to get into the protein game? Yeah.
It was a winding road. At the time I was doing the startup for the New Eyes. Just before that, I did my master's degree, and when I was living in Los Angeles, Orange County, I went to USC. Okay. And they have an MBA in entrepreneurship.
Oh wow!
And so you get to meet a lot of entrepreneurs who've done very well. Yep. Some that have failed. And all in between. And, one of the people that spoke, he's like, if you get a chance to really do something that you can combine your passions, you don't understand how magic that will be if you have a product at the timing with the team. So everything has to line up. Yeah. So, I kind of went through this rigmarole and took a gig doing some consulting for a CBD lab in Nevada. Okay. And a 40,000 square foot lab. The business model was built on a $5,000 a kilo CBD oil. Oh, wow. And during the course of the, almost a year that I was there, the price dropped from 5,000 to 500. Destroyed the business model, wiped it out. So much blood in the streets in the CBD market. But during the course of that, one day they said, "You see that pallet right there of seeds?" And I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "It doesn't have any CBD in it. We're probably going to throw it away." And I'm like, "Okay, what does that mean?" It's the best plant protein in the world. Yeah. And I was kind of like, well, every mammal in the world needs protein. Why are we worried about CBD? Because you still can't sell it legally for, eating and things like this. So that may be the biggest opportunity in hemp, is the industrial hemp. No CBD, no THC, getting into food, getting into industrial products. And so I left that, and one thing I realized, I was like, I really need to have a good partner who is on operations. And, lo and behold, about a year and a half later, I met someone who is now my business partner, and he's an operator, professional. He's a, aerospace engineer from the University of Texas, skydiver, another really interesting, cool individual. And so we're kind of like a yin and yang in terms of what we like to do and what he likes to do. And so I knew that we had to have, one, a great product, but I had to have the team. And then timing had to be right. And so as the softening of the attitude towards hemp, and we're seeing more ice melt, we're seeing more temperature rise, we're seeing the effects of our global effect on the world. We got a chance to take this plant that's been illegal for so long and now create building materials, sustainable, right? Stop chopping down old wood forests. We can grow our food with it. We can build stuff with it. We can build pallets with it. We can build wood with it. And so, bringing that sustainable future, that's kind of where it all came from. Yeah. What would you say are the obstacles when people hear hemp, that you guys kind of get into? It is, hemp to some people means smoking a joint. Right. Right? And you're like, no. It's an industrial plant that we're using, and you could smoke 100,000 pounds of it and it won't give you a buzz. Okay. Nothing there. It literally, and our protein is made just from the seeds. So when I explain to people, hemp, you have your cannabis is the big umbrella. Okay. But you could say, quote unquote, marijuana that has like the 20 or 30% THC, and then we're on the industrial side, which is federally legal, USDA certified organic across the board. Okay. It's just as legal as soy or wheat or flour, right? And so now by us, the way we process it, the way there's no THC or CBD, we avoid all those regulations. So we're legal under FDA GRAS, which is generally recognized as safe because we test down to parts per billionth and no THC trace. Wow. So is there THC at parts per trillionth? I don't know. The machines don't go that far, right? And so we avoid that whole DEA, FDA issue, and then also by engaging the USDA, which put out its first hemp report earlier this year, a commodity report. Yeah. Just like soy, just like corn. It had never happened before. So our timing is just right. Because now the USDA is recognizing it. And we just applied for a large grant, a $2 million grant with the USDA that is Organic Market Development Program. Really? Because we're USDA certified organic, they're trying to get away from the pesticides, from the water use, and because hemp pretty much is just a big weed. Yeah, this is really cool, and to be organic certified is not easy. That's what we were supposed to come out in April, and we're coming out in October. Okay, and I would say that's a lot of the challenge to getting that. Yeah, but once you have it, it gives you a lot of people recognize that. You go into Costco, almost all the stuff now is USDA organic. Right. And so it wouldn't make any sense to come to market with a new product that's not USDA organic.
Is there a lot of politics in?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to get into that.
Yeah.
But okay, so let's talk about hemp.
Sure.
So we're literally talking about a weed, okay, that you're taking a part of,
Yep.
and you're making a clean organic protein,
Yep.
which is a building block for every human.
Correct.
And what would you say are the benefits of just like hemp protein in general, as opposed to say pea protein or, well, I won't even get into whey protein or casein and all this stuff that makes you, crap your pants. But what would you say are some of the key benefits?
Key benefits would be that it's very high in omega-3 and omega-6.
Okay.
Right? So
Very
those are known to have anti-inflammatory effects, especially in the ratio that it's naturally occurring in this.
Yeah.
And so we're going to commission a study to prove that.
Okay.
So university study locally here in Arizona. When the funds are there, so we're right around the corner from making that happen. Another thing too is it's allergen free. So you have 14 major allergens. You have soy, you have dairy, you have gluten. Across the board, we're free of all major allergens.
Wow.
Right, and so this is actually our sample bottle that
Okay.
we've been handing out. The full products will be coming out in October.
Cool.
And we'll have the flavors and everything, but basically what it comes down to is we've named the product Everybody Fuel. So the company is Agogi, but we named Everybody Fuel because it's fuel for everybody. Everybody needs protein. Every human needs protein. Every mammal needs protein.
Yeah.
Right, and now we've got one that is across the board. Mixes easy. You can mix it with a spoon and a cup of water. Where, I'm sure you've taken protein before, where it's like trying to stir clumps, and it really kind of turns people off to it, especially the effect on the bloat.
100%. Yeah.
And the other thing too is that it doesn't cause the bloat.
Right.
And the issues, because there's a lot of those proteins, they put a lot of fillers into them, a lot of flavors, a lot of artificial, just a lot of stuff you don't want in your body.
Yeah. And what's in this?
That is just pure protein isolate.
Yeah.
Our brand it's the Universal Hemp Protein. UHP is the actual the main ingredient, and then for instance our matcha, when our matcha flavor comes out,
I can't wait to try that.
It's gonna be fire.
Yeah.
So we talked to the chemist Amber. She goes, what's the, because we had 4 flavors to choose from. It's unflavored, because some people just don't want any flavor.
Right.
Chocolate, vanilla, the basics. And one flavor we want to get that's unique to us. And my daughter is a big matcha, Matcha lattes are huge. And
Right.
so what if we had a hemp protein, universal hemp protein, that tasted like a matcha latte from Starbucks, where they sell millions and millions of them a day? And she nailed it.
Wow.
She nailed it. I mean, a scoop of that into an ice cold glass of water, you stir it up, and it's like a little
good to go.
Little taste of matcha. And plus I get my protein.
Yeah, and I see that you have the amino acid profile on here, which for people listening, amino acids are the building block of muscle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the key to that is showing how important it is, right? So a huge part of Agogi is education. Right, because we have to educate people on hemp. We have to educate them on, this, not this, it's legal.
Right, you're not drinking weed.
Correct. You're not going to get high.
Yeah.
You're not, a drug test, anything like that. It's right in there. And so by making it, engaging with the USDA, getting all these things done. A lot of people in the past have tried to get around the rules, or I'm not going to follow those rules. Let's just go right there. They're looking for people. They're looking for companies to lead this revolution in sustainability.
Yeah.
Let's engage them head on. And they've been really cool, actually. The last few months, initially the challenge is, the knowledge, and even people who've been in this industry, you kind of have to explain to them, hey, the way we do it, we don't use the whole seed. Okay, the shell has the THC and the CBD in it. Once that's gone, you have a pure protein. It's literally just a protein molecule, right? And so it's just packed naturally with all these amazing things. Even one scoop of that, and this is where vegans are very excited about Agogi, is that one scoop provides 35% of your daily iron.
Wow.
So you talk about issues having to take iron pills and things like this. Here you can put it right in there, and especially because the versatility, we're a product in terms of Agogi, but we're an ingredient in terms of the universal hemp protein. We've got a chef here locally who's been making chorizo with it.
Okay, so I wanted to bring that up. So you're going to literally make tortillas, milk, chorizo, like you said,
We're going to replace flour.
Yeah.
How much nutrition, you know what I mean, in something that's, you know, covered in pesticide, you know, and again, back to organic, you know, we put a QR code on every single one of our bags with that batch
Right.
to show no pesticide, no THC, no CBD, right? Transparency, right? Everything in the past is, and you can see some of the posts on Instagram when you go on, where they'll walk into the Whole Foods or a store and they'll grab it and they'll say, here we go, what's in this?
Yeah.
Right? And in the past, it's what on the front. Oh, as long as it's flashy and tastes good, people realize it's not good for me.
So hold on. Okay. So do you remember when? I know you will. Do you remember when cassava tortillas and all these alternative types of tortillas were coming out, and then all of a sudden it just like it blew up? You know, almond flour tortillas, all that, and. Credit to them, it was something new. It was something different than, you know, flour and all the white, you know, flour bullshit that was going on that was causing people pain. So you had an alternative to that, but still to this day, even those alternatives still have a couple extra ingredients in there that may or may not be necessary. Yeah. So are you telling me that there's a possibility that you guys can actually make hemp tortillas?
Hemp protein tortillas. So you get protein and your tortilla.
So I don't even need to have my protein smoothie in the morning. I can just wrap my eggs in a hemp protein tortilla.
That'd be nice, right?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
You hear that, Diddy?
Yes, sir.
That's like you can make hemp protein tacos, dude.
That'd be sweet.
He loves tacos.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
I do
has a
too.
whole show on tacos.
Nice. Yeah, I got to get you with my buddy Jamie. He's a burrito connoisseur. You guys have a lot to talk about.
So how long until this comes to fruition? I mean,
We are literally about 3 weeks out.
3 weeks?
Yeah. So it's been, you know, from idea to market throughout 3.5 years.
Oh my God.
And so it's just been a matter of, you know, making sure you double check and recheck and recheck, and, you know, just the amount of time and energy into the packaging and the feel and the look. Because, you know, if we're going to be the first people to really introduce this new hemp protein to the market, you know, the caliber of the product has to match the caliber of the packaging,
For sure.
the website, everything across the board, because, you know, we definitely see as this the new category of protein.
Yeah.
You know, because of the flexibility of it, because of the, you know, the sustainable way it's grown and processed. You know, we feel strongly that this is the way it can really change the food supply system.
So you literally been working on this for 3 years. We're 3 weeks from you really launching, you know, all these things that you're talking about. I feel grateful that we're sitting here talking about this. It's very cool to, you know, kind of hear about this before you see it happen. What is going to be your distribution model?
So we've got multiple distribution models. So we've got a lot of places here that, you know, I go to yoga here at Core Power, the hot yoga. So they've given permission for us to set up booths and start selling there.
Cool.
Farmers markets. Really want to get, you know, started this company in Arizona purposefully.
Yeah.
Looked at all different cities in the country, growing fast, small business friendly, health obsessed. Right, you can't find that like all in one place.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Florida, California, pretty saturated here, and the people from Arizona are very proud of Arizona companies.
Yeah.
Everybody's been awesome and friendly. You know, across the board, it's just been a fantastic experience. And so, for us, it's just, you know, right down to, you know, having this launched. It's been so much work in every little detail, and it's you know, once it's tangible and you can actually hold it, it's like, wow, that idea is now
real.
this thing. It's real, right? And you know, I'm having a hard time sleeping right now because I'm just so excited, and I just, you know, we just know how the feedback we've been getting from the people we've been giving it to, IFBB pros, you know, professional athletes, things like that have been taken.
Yeah,
and going.
business execs, you know, they want to feel better. Yeah, like me.
And, you know, I was at a yoga event in Chandler back in the spring, and I talked to Ricky Williams, you know, the running back. And I said, Ricky, you know, here's a sample. I'd love you to try it. And I said, one of the things I've been hearing about is people are telling us that their joints are feeling better after taking it. And he goes, omega-3 and omega-6. He goes, do a study on it. And I'm like, then he walked off with his crowd, and I was like, well, that's what we got to do. I think he knows what he's talking about. He's taken some protein before.
He knows. That's awesome. Well, so let's talk about you personally. You're obviously, you're in good shape. You probably, you know, it's kind of one of those things. A lot of times people like, you know, your body is your business card in essence, and here you are coming out with a, you know, a healthy supplement, protein, all that sort of stuff. And so it's nice to see that you're not a big slob that's just, you know, trying to push something that doesn't work. But tell me about your daily life and what you like to do, and the certain non-negotiables that you have on a daily basis, and how you keep your head above water starting a new company. What gives you that satisfaction?
I kind of live the 90-10 rule.
Okay.
Where in terms of, health, I do like craft beers. I do like pizza. Okay. I do like ice cream. I'm not a weirdo.
Yeah.
But what I do is I save those for certain times.
Gotcha.
Right? If I crush a large pizza, I know it's, several thousand calories. I got some work to do after that.
Yeah.
Right. And keep that down. It's kind of like the opposite of a bank account. In the bank account, you want to grow your dollars. Your body, you want to reduce your calories. You want to reduce the reserves and keep that. I do a combination of traditional bodybuilding. Big fan of Arnold. Just to fly dumbbells.
Same.
Bench press, the same thing for strength. And then the hot power, the hot yoga from Core Power is for my stretch.
Yeah.
So people start getting older, back problems. Right, people just stop stretching, and so when you go in that class, besides the fact it's like 105 degrees, and you're just going the whole time. There's no stopping. You're using weights, but the stretch to where I'm more flexible now than I've been in my entire life.
Yeah,
and so as I age, I look at people that age the best have the healthiest lifestyle. There's a lot of weightlifting there. Right, I don't run anymore.
No, I don't either. I quit running two years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, the knees and just the shock on your body.
Yeah.
No more jogging.
The inflammation, really.
Right.
I ruck now.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. I did a little of that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But mobility, like what you're saying, is like mobility is absolutely key. And you being 45, I'm sure you hit 40 and you're kind of like, whoa, it's like a new age.
You gotta try a little harder.
Yeah.
Right. You gotta try a little harder. Our bodies lose muscle mass as we grow, as we get older, and a lot of the issues is you don't have muscle mass around the bone, osteoporosis, you fall and break your hip. These types of things happen. So the most important thing if someone can do, and if anybody asks me, what could I do about health? Cook your own meals.
Eat more protein.
Eat more protein. Get full on protein. If you're full on this, you're not eating cookies.
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Right. And so if you're full on this, you're not eating pizza, right? You're eating this clean protein. Your body's using all of it.
Protein cookies?
Protein cookies.
I mean, seriously.
No, we've had them.
Okay.
We got protein cookies. We got protein gummies. Brownie bites. The tortillas, the chorizo, which is absolutely fire. We're going to pilot it to a few places here. We have a chef here, Candy Lesher, and she's kind of like a mad scientist with this. And she's like, we can make everything with it. And we're like, okay, let's do it.
That's
so one
great.
step at a time. And we're going to have recipes on how to use it to make waffles and pancakes. And there's a local chiropractor who makes bread with it.
Okay.
Because he's like, well, I want to get enough protein in my bread. If I'm going to do the carbohydrates, I want more protein.
Yeah.
So he's made it homemade, fresh, pasta. I mean, literally everything. And so the more protein we can get, then our bodies are absorbing the less carbohydrate because people aren't nearly as active as they used to be.
Yeah.
A lot of people do stuff manually and work in the yard and things like this. People are watching
driving too much.
And doing this. And so if we can provide them a healthy way to be full, we can help because, again, most chronic diseases are caused by inflammation.
Yes.
So if we can have them ingest this as a food that reduces inflammation, we could probably have a good effect if everyone's taking it across the board, lower issues with chronic disease.
No, for sure. This is great. I mean, this is a great mission to have, and I'm excited about it. I'll tell you that. What is a day in your life? What time do you get up? What do you do?
6 o'clock, I get up, and I love riding bicycles.
Okay.
Right? And so I have a hybrid bicycle, not electric, but hybrid as in it's a street bike, mountain bike mix. Mm-hmm. And I got it when I was in D.C. during COVID because everything was shut down, and I was able to buy a bicycle because there was no bicycles to be bought. And I rode all through D.C., all through Virginia, all the beautiful paths and stuff there. And so just fell in love with this bicycle and kind of takes me back to when I was a kid. And, when I was 12, 13, I'm sure the same thing with you, you know, cool banana seat bikes, and you go cruise around, meet you at the park, go to Jamie's house, meet up at Sean's, go to Brian's,
the best.
Bring on the doorbell, and then just kind of like this crew of bicycle kids running around, getting into mischief little kids do. And so I get up and I ride my bicycle to the gym. Okay. I go to Mountainside Fitness Zone, Ahwatukee, and do my weights there in the morning. Okay. That's pretty much how I start. I come back, take my yoga, Agogi smoothie. Cool. Right? And then start hitting the phones and the emails and the follow-ups and all the stuff for Agogi.
You eat at home mainly?
Mainly, yeah. I try and, again, 90% of the time, cook meals at home. Yeah. Because I know what's in it. Right. You go to a restaurant, you know what's in it. Seed oils, all kind of weird old stuff in there. So mainly my diets consist of, grilled chicken. Yeah. Mainly have, like an 8-pound thing, cook it, and then, so when I get hungry, I go to the fridge, I open it up, there's no cookies and there's ice cream. Okay, I'll eat some of this chicken. Yeah. I'll have some rice. Yeah. I'll eat some vegetables, right? And I literally have to trick myself because I love chocolate. It's my weakness, right? So I can't be close to chocolate. Can't have it in the house and I'll just eat it all. Yeah. It's so good.
That's so funny. And look, if you're going to go to a restaurant, go just have fun with it. You know
Correct.
what I'm saying?
If you're going to do it, go.
Go for the debauchery.
I don't want to worry about it.
Meal. Right.
I want to have a shot of tequila, some nice non-additive tequila. I'm going to have a nice, meal, this and that, and just not worry about it.
Yeah.
I'll work about this later. And basically the work day all day, and then in the evenings I go to hot yoga.
Okay.
And so that's kind of like an active meditation. Phones off, watches off,
Yep.
no one's talking, just listen and do.
It's your wind down time.
Wind down time.
What time do you go to bed?
Usually 9:30 or 10.
Okay.
Yeah, back up at 6 again.
Yeah.
And so it's really a it's an everyday process.
Everyday process.
It really
100%.
is, and really kind of just removed most of my social life.
Chopping
right?
wood, baby.
It is,
Yeah.
right? And I get, phone calls and this and that, and let's go here and go there, and it's kind of like, I got to be up. I got to train. I got
work
leg
to
day
do.
tomorrow. I've
Yeah.
got, this is, and part of that is, to your point, this is my dream,
Yeah.
right? And
It's your niche. It's who you are.
It's cannabis, it's sustainability, it's protein, and this is all my life where I work out every day and I do the yoga. And so for me, this is like cooler for me than, doing anything.
Yeah. Everything that you've worked for has gotten you to this point here.
Correct.
And this is, it's fun.
Yeah.
You can see the glow in your eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is really cool. All right. I got some rapid fire questions.
Sure.
for you.
Sure.
Surfing or hiking?
Hiking. I tried surfing. I'm just no good at it.
No good. You're not a water guy.
I lived at the beach in Orange County for almost 15 years.
Yeah.
And I went 3 or 4 times. I was paddling one time, and this is what did me in. I got my wetsuit on, I got my longboard, I'm in Bolsa Chica, and I'm just kind of waiting for a wave to come in, and something brushed up against my leg, and it was big, and I was like, whoa.
No, all done.
I don't know if it was probably a dolphin. Anyway, I got out. I said, you know what? That might have been my leg. If it had been a shark, I don't know. I said, but I can sit right there with a margarita, and I'll wave at you.
Yeah.
Cheer you on.
There's nothing in the ocean that wants to be your friend.
No.
It all wants to fucking eat you
Bingo.
or kill you. Sorry. Yeah. All done, ocean. Okay.
And the hiking here obviously is spectacular.
Well, it is. When did you move? What year did you move to Arizona?
I just moved here in January.
In January. Okay, cool.
I've got family here. I got my cousin and her husband and their kids, and so
You'll be here the rest of your life. It's beautiful.
I love it.
Yeah. Sharks or bears?
bears.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
The sun or the moon?
Sun or the moon. I love the sun. I just, when it's sun, it's one of the things I love the most about Arizona is that 97% of the time when I wake up and look out the window in the morning, it's going to be sun. It's like when it's sunny and nice, it's so hard to have a bad day.
Yeah, you get your vitamin D, go out, take
Yep.
a conference call.
Yep.
That's perfect. Chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Okay.
Yep.
Carbs or protein?
Protein.
Smoke weed or drink beer?
Smoke weed.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a weed smoker, you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's the calories and the sugar in the beer. you know.
Yeah,
I'm a 2 craft beer and a good sativa joint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Village People or Culture Club?
What's number 3?
Metallica.
Metallica.
Okay.
Yes, I was actually listening on the way here.
I went last Friday.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Because they had that third show that got canceled.
It was the second show.
You got in the second show.
Canceled. No, so I think they're having it tomorrow night.
Okay. Just got
he
moved
replaced
around.
It. Yeah.
How was it?
It was good, but you could tell James had COVID.
Yeah.
He was belting it out the best he could. Porsche or Ferrari?
Porsche.
Okay, cool. Very
A
cool.
little more classic, a little more.
Yeah,
No.
old school, right?
Yep.
All right, so where can people find this? I'll put all the links on the show notes and all that sort of stuff. But like, if you're to talk to everybody right now, what do you want them to do when it comes to investigating your product?
Correct. Right now, our Instagram is agogi.life.
Okay.
And it only has the first 9 tiles because we have a kind of a strategy we're rolling out to coincide with the launch of the product.
Cool.
So agogi.life, and then agogi.life is our website also.
Perfect.
And right now, the website is coming soon. There's a way you can put your email in there. And so as soon as we're ready to launch, we'll send a blast out to let everybody know that the flavors, the chocolate, the vanilla, the unflavored, and the matcha are all ready. And we're talking about, first week of October-ish. So
Perfect.
right now, the best thing to do, go there, go to our website, agogi.life, put in your email, and we'll let you know when it's ready. 'Cause
Okay.
it's just around the corner.
That's great. All right.
Yep.
I will put this in show notes. Everybody, please. And we'll put it on our social media as well for
Perfect.
people to be able to follow. But I appreciate you coming in, man. This
Thanks
was
for
fun.
having me. I loved it. Yeah.
And we'll talk more after this, obviously.
Yeah.
But thank you, everybody, for listening. The podcast is sponsored by myself. So if you need me, just reach out and leave us a 5-star and definitely follow this journey among the others. And that's it. Peace out.